What up, YouTube? It's Aaron, your personal driver, and today I'm going to be giving some helpful tips for all you newbies out there. We're going to talk about customer service, how you treat your customers, hopefully get you some higher ratings and some higher tips. So let's get this started. What's up, guys? What's up? As you can tell from my little scratchy voice, I have a little bit of a cold going on, so not too excited about that. So anyway, today what we're going to talk about is why customer service is important in this industry. I'm going to give you some helpful tips as a new driver of things you can do to provide these services. And then we're going to talk about some interesting scenarios which you might have to use your customer service skills. So it looks like I did manage to get the chat box thing to work. Let's test it again. Test. Test, here we go. Boom. So yeah, it's working nice. So that wasn't working last week. I've managed to fix that. That's awesome. So if this is your first time here, welcome. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button right down there. And I do rideshare tips every Monday. Every Wednesday I do a live stream for new drivers. And Friday and Saturday I do in-car live streams. So hopefully you guys will stick around and watch those things. A reminder from last week we talked about was how to figure out how much money you make. Okay. I gave you some websites you go to and evaluate your per mile cost, and there were a lot of questions about customer service, so I'm going to do just a video on that today. So you veteran drivers actually would enjoy this video too, because I think there's a lot of tips and tricks for people who are even veterans will like this video, I think. So remember, you're constrained literally by time, space itself. Your driver Mike says, "What's up? What's up, your driver Mike?" Make sure you go check him out if you're done watching this video. He's awesome. What was I gonna say? Oh, right. Literally, you're constrained by time, space itself. So remember, there's only so many miles you can drive with a customer in your car. There's only so many rides you can get an hour. There's only so many things that you can do to make money. Okay, like you can't increase volume as a rideshare driver because there's only so much mileage you can get. The only way to increase profit in this business is to decrease your per mile cost. Hold on, guys. I'm lagging a little bit. Let's see if I can fix it. Here real quick. Let's see if that helps. Hopefully that helps a little bit. So the only way to make money in this business is to decrease your per mile cost and or increase your income. So how much money you take in per mile. Since last week we talked about decreasing the cost to do rideshare. Now I'm going to talk about ideas to increase income. Okay, you increase income through tips. Now, I don't really like to talk about ratings, especially with new drivers. If you're a new driver, don't worry about ratings. They don't matter if you're new. If you're a new driver, just get 500 rated drives. That's about 1,000 normal drives. Generally speaking, 50% of people you give rides to rate you. So get 1,000 rides on your belt. Just get in your car and drive and don't worry about your rating. Ratings are important for a couple of reasons. If you're more of a veteran driver, though, they help you with matching. So if the higher your rating, the better the preferences you get to your customers, in a nutshell. But more important than that, it's an indication of how you're doing as a driver. So if you're like a better driver than normal drivers, you know what I'm saying, your rating will be higher. If you're a worse driver, your rating will be worse. And the only reason that matters is because, well, I mean, if your rating is low enough, they can, fire you. Man, it's streaming so bad. I don't know what the deal is. Oh well. But it's tipping. Okay, customers are more likely to tip you if you have if you're better at customer service. And to tip in the app on Uber, you have to rate first. So if people aren't rating you, they're never going to get the option to tip you. And tipping is important because tipping increases your income. That's the only way to increase your profit. Okay? So I'm going to go over real quick up front here some items that I think every rideshare driver should have to help increase your customer service and your access to ratings and your access to tipping. And the first is, I'm a big believer in Uberman's headrest tips or covers. Okay, so these are covers that go over your seat, so you just put them on the back of your seat, and inside here you slip in a card right here. Uberman gives you like a bunch of different cards that say different things. This one says, please grade me 5 stars. The other one I have on my other headrest says, tips are not mandatory, but highly appreciated. The reason I like this is because they basically give you income passively in 2 ways. One, if you're asking a customer to tip you, or asking a customer to rate you, remember, as soon as they rate you, they get an option to tip you. So the more ratings you can get, the more tips you'll get. If you aren't getting tipped, one thing, Ramsey says, hello, what's up, Ramsey? So if you aren't getting tips and you're wondering why, that could be a reason, is customers aren't giving you a rating. So either you're, so that's actually not too bad. That means you're not a bad enough driver to get a bad rating. You're just not a good enough driver to get a good rating. So when you directly ask, it puts the thought in your customer's head without you asking, because you sound like a chump after every ride if you're like, hey, can you rate me? Can you rate me? Or you keep bringing up ratings and stuff like that. Don't worry about it, man. Just let the sign do it. Don't ask your customers. It's tacky, but let the headrest speak for itself. My ratings went up after I did this. Same thing with tipping. So you don't ever want to ask for a tip. That's cheesy. But put it in their head. Jose Ramos says, hey. Ramsey says, on my way to work. What's up, guys? Good to see you in here. So put the idea in their head. Even, it doesn't work 100% of the time, but it's a conversation starter. And even people who don't want to talk to you, they'll still read it. I have a 4.93, and I use these with every ride, so you can't tell me your ratings will go down. Maybe it'll piss off one person or 2 people, but we're not trying to make everybody happy here. We're trying to increase overall happiness. So if it increases overall happiness, but like 1 or 2 people are upset, well, so be it. It happens sometimes. Nothing you can do about that. The other item will be a little controversial. Oh, by the way, the links to the headrests are in the description. It's the only thing in the description right now. Maybe after this video, I'll put more things in there. But yeah, is Visine. I can't get that to focus on the bottle. But I'm sure you guys have seen Visine before. Nice, 4.3 exceptional. That's got to be top 10% in your market. Yes. Yeah. Thanks, your driver, Mike. I consider myself one of the best drivers in Washington and Seattle, and I don't just say that for a humble brag. Like, I legitimately try to be among the best I can possibly be. And it pays off. So my record is I made $99 in-app tipping in 36 hours. So I basically made $4 a trip in tips, but that's another story. So why do you have Visine? It's the same reason you wear sunglasses when you're driving during the day. Okay. Ooh, well, look at that focus. What's wrong with my camera? Oh, there we go. Jose Ramos, 4.98. Good job, buddy. Way to kill it. So you want your customers to have confidence in you, and if you have red bloodshot eyes because you've been working all night, or you're on your 10th 11th hour and you're trying to grind that stuff out, your eyes are going to get red. That's just how it works. Especially in autumn and springtime when there's stuff in the air, And right now, I see I'm a little sick. I'm clogged up. You know, I've got that cold going on. And if you look at my eyes, they look pretty red right now too. I mean, make all the jokes you want to about Visine and pot. I got you. Like, a lot of potheads use Visine because they have those drug eyes or whatever. But if a customer gets in your car and it looks like your eyes are strung out and you're on drugs, you're going to get reported and they're not going to have confidence in you. So Visine saves that. Now, that's why you also wear sunglasses during the day. Or if it's raining or cloudy or dark, though, I mean, you have to take the sunglasses off. And that's why I always keep Visine in the car. It'll also help you drive better because if your eyes are properly watered and not scratchy, you won't be doing this in the car. You know, you won't be like blinking or like got some, like sometimes it feels like you got something on the side of your eye, but there's nothing there. It's because your eyes are dried out. So the Visine is a must-have, especially if you're going to work more than 6 to 8 hours at a time. Along the same item line as Visine and confidence is I have Febreze. Now, this is Febreze Hawaiian. It's not my favorite. It smells okay. But I prefer the Tide. The store just didn't have any. So Febreze Tide. I spray this before every single trip. And the reason for that is smell layers. And what I mean by that is if you just spray it once, it's just going to be in the air and evaporate, and then it's going to be gone. Okay? If you spray it every time, it'll layer in your seats. It means it'll be there longer. Because you're competing with grossness. So every time someone gets in your car and sits down, their body creates body heat between them and the seat, which means they're going to sweat. Everybody's skin has oil on it. So the people in the backseat of your car are layering oil, sweat, and grime on your car, and all that stuff smells. So if you layer it with the Febreze, it helps to pull out some of that nasty human grossness smell you get back there. It's what makes cars smell stale. Like when you get into a taxi cab and it has that like weird gross smell, and you're like, what is that? Is that smoke? Is it this? Is it that? No, it's not that. It's literally just human grossness in the back of that cab. Excuse me. So that's what the Febreze does. Furthermore, when you're driving at night on bars, especially here on the West Coast where weed is legal, you get people in your car, and those people smell. You know, they smell like they've been at the gym. They smell like they've been smoking cigars. They smell like they've been drinking booze. And there's nothing more distracting to a customer and nothing that gives you less confidence as a customer than getting into a car that smells like alcohol or smells like weed. They're going to think that you're drunk and you're high, and they're going to be really antsy. And even if they don't report you, which they probably will anyway, they're definitely not going to tip you. If your customer is not confident in you and your ability to drive, you're not going to get a tip. And remember, that's why you give good customer service. It's not for ratings. It's not for pride. Like, you can have those things. Like, you can say, I take pride in my job, and that's good. And you can say, look at my rating. I'm a good driver. That's good. But ultimately, you provide good customer service because it's returned in cash. And tipping is the only way to increase your money. I mean, you can make $200 a week in tips, and that's not an exaggeration, and there are people who do it. But you have to make sure first that your customer is confident in your ability. All right, and this is for new drivers. So this is a big controversy in the Uber world. So like if you're a veteran driver and you disagree with it, that's okay. Run your business the way you want to. This is a stream for new customers. So this is an 8-ounce Kirkland water, okay? So if you go to Costco and you buy these 8 ounces, the mini ones, you can get 80 for $5.50. That's in my market. It might be $6. It might be $4. I mean, it depends on how much tax and stuff is. But you can do the math. 80 bottles of water for $5.50. It's the best investment you can make, especially as a new driver. There's no way you aren't going to get $5.50 back in tips over 80 bottles. Like you like those commercials that you used to have back in the day, like infomercials, like I guarantee if you spend $5.50 on 80 of these 80, that you will get that $5.50 back over the lifetime of those 80 bottles. Okay. You're going to get a lot more than that. But as a new driver, you're going to mess up a lot and you're going to make mistakes and you're going to be nervous because that's what being new is about. So giving things away for free in your car, a lot of people think is tacky and they call you newbie. Like they're like, that's newbie stuff. And that's right. That I know. This is a stream for new people. And water's good because it makes you appear more professional. And when you're new, you're just kind of trying to fake it till you make it, right? You don't really know what you're doing. And that's fine. You don't have to know what you're doing when you're new. You just have to do it. And most people don't drink the water, but everyone appreciates that the water is there. So having 2 of these in your cup holder in the middle of your car doesn't mean that 2 are going to be drunk every time someone drives. But having the option of water there makes people feel like you're going above and beyond in your situation. And you'll be surprised at what offering some water to a customer will do to increase tips and increase customer satisfaction. And I would say one case lasts about 4 months for me. So it's about 20 waters a month. Not everyone drinks it, but everyone appreciates that it's there. It's the cheapest investment you can make and make your money back. Some people like to offer like Jolly Ranchers or Starbursts or other candies or chips or something like that. And as a new driver, I mean, you can do that. I know it's the same thing, right? You're giving them Jolly Ranchers and gums and stuff like that to like and try to impress people. But no one really cares about that. I did it when I was new, and I make more tips now than I did back then. Veteran drivers definitely don't give out candy, but you might want to consider some cheap candy, bulk candy that you can buy like at Costco or something, like bulk Jolly Ranchers. They're like this big, and you get like thousands of them in the bag or whatever. I don't know what the number is. So it's cheap, but it provides better customer service. The problem when you hand out food is that people, spill it in your car. Put this away. So if you have Jolly Ranchers, then they get stuck to the seat. If you give out gum, you're going to get gum on your seat. If you give out chocolate, you're going to get chocolate on your seat. If you give out whatever chips, they're going to be crumbs everywhere. That's why I don't like food. But also water more than 8 ounces is bad. Yeah. You're not giving water because you want to hydrate the world. You're giving water because you want to make money off tips. They don't need a liter of water, man. They don't need a bottle of water. Why does a customer need a liter of water? They don't need that. They just need enough to make their mouth wet. Don't spend the extra money, man. You're not going to get, no customer's going to be like, oh, wow, this is 32 ounces of water. I'm going to give a bigger tip than if you just give them 8 ounces of water. It's just that it's there. You just need to be there. It's a prop. It's not real. I mean, I know some people try to hustle, so they'll get some big bottles of water or name brand water like Voss or something like that, and then try to sell it. So if you want to hustle, hey, life's a hustle. You got to hustle. That's fine. But yeah, I don't suggest more than 8 ounces. You're just wasting money. I mean, you'll still make the money back, but it's, you're spending so much on inventory. Don't spend more than it. Just get the 8 ounces, man. Don't. Unless you're doing Uber Select and you're like, oh, I'm going to make a killing off of water. Remember, the water isn't there to get good ratings. The water is there to make money. So you want the cheapest water for the most amount of tips. Okay. Thanks, lol. Still new. Hey, Albert. No, that's what the stream is for. This is literally for people just like you. I want to give you guys tips so you don't do the same things that I did. Okay? The first thing I did is I gave out straight candy. I went to Costco and bought a big bag of bulk candy. It was like Halloween size candies. And I gave them out, and what I found is chocolate all over the seats all the time. So, I mean, I got cleaning fees for it, but then I was washing my car constantly. I don't think handing out food is good. So, I mean, there you go. Okay, so now that we have some basic items out of the way, I'm going to move into your attitude, right? Basic customer service stuff you would learn at any job that you've ever had since you were 15 or 16 or whatever the work age limit is where you're from, right? You want to have an authoritative voice. You want to sound friendly. You want to be courteous, yada, yada, yada. I don't want to talk about that stuff. But I want to talk about the basic stuff you need to make sure you're doing. Okay? When someone pulls up, you need to verify that the person on the account is the person who's getting into your car. So leave your car doors locked and roll down your windows. If you're new, that'll save you so much of a headache. I mean, of all the tips I give you today, I think might be the most important. Jim says, there are only 2 cup holders in my car and they both are mine. I don't have room for the extras. I mean, that's fine. You can put them in the back seat. A lot of times back seats have like pockets. You can put them in the pockets. I've seen a lot of people put like little LED lights in the pockets so that there's light coming up from the bottom and their water's there at the top. You can put it on the side doors there. Or, you know, if you have these Uberman headrests, you can just write, please rate me 5 stars, water available upon request. I mean, I don't know. If you don't want to give out water, don't give out water. I'm just saying that there's a way to do it if you don't have a cup holder in the back for your car. So anyway, you need to verify that the request on your phone matches the person getting into your car. So make sure your car doors are locked and roll down the window. And just verify them and verify they're looking for you. So this is the hardest part for me personally. I'm a very trusting person. Seattle is a very low crime city. So very it's very infrequent that someone will try to like steal a cab or get in or something like that. It has happened to me twice. So I've given just over 2,000 rides in the time I've been up here in Seattle, and 2 people have gotten in my car that weren't supposed to be in my car. So percentage-wise, 1 out of every 1,000 rides is not too bad. But your marketplace might be different. I mean, I don't know where you're working. I know that a lot of people in Southern California and Florida have this happen a lot. People try to get in their car and then jack someone else's Uber. So just verify that they're there. But doing it in a courteous manner is the hard part. So generally I say, hi, I'm Aaron. I drive a blue Volkswagen. Is that who you're looking for? And that'll prompt them to say, yes, or I'm Karen, or whatever. You can always just politely ask, excuse me, sir, or excuse me, ma'am. What's your name? I mean, you have to make that part of your presentation, but just don't do it in an accusatory method. Like, don't act like you're a police officer, like on an investigation. Don't be like, are you Jane? I'm looking for Jane. Also, when you don't say their name, because then you're letting them know who the ride is for. And I know some people try to trick them, like, are you Bethany? And they'll be like, no, I'm Ashley. And you're like, okay, good. Well, I'm looking for Ashley. I was just testing you. Because that makes you seem like a douche. Just be professional about it. Have authority in your voice, but don't sound accusatory. Just be like, that's why I always start out with my name. Like, hi, I'm Aaron. I drive a blue Volkswagen. Is this the car you're looking for? And then they'll look at their phone and whatever, and I'll be like, can I ask what your name is? And they'll say, oh, I'm Robert, or whatever. And they'll get in your car. So that's the first thing you should do, and then unlock your doors. And to me, that's the hardest part because I'm kind of a dick. So I just want to be like, I have to remember mentally that you have to be nice about it, and I'm too trusting. I just want to open my doors. Like, I don't care who's in my car. If it's not their account, someone will pay for it. That's kind of how my feeling is, and that's not the attitude. Once they're in the car, you should say, hi, how you doing? Or whatever, like, how is Saturday night? Those kind of things. And then they'll say whatever their dumb response is, like, oh, Saturday night is good or fine or whatever. Then verify where you're going. Say you're going to 110th and A Street, and they'll say yes. And then you click start. So don't ever start the ride until the customer is there. That's something else I do because I'm trying to get in and out, right? And trying to get the grind. So sometimes I start it early. But verify the address because drunk people put the wrong address in sometimes. So you don't want to be caught in a situation where you're driving the wrong way just because someone's an idiot. And you get paid for wait time regardless, so you don't have to start it early. Chris says, I hate that I can't hit on hot chicks because I have to be professional. Yeah? Well, I'll get to that too. You can hit on hot chicks, but you have to do it in a professional manner. So I'll explain how you handle if there's a person that you want to date that gets in your car. But I want to get through this part first. So now you've verified the person, you've introduced yourself, you've asked how they're doing, you've started the trip. It is my personal professional opinion that you do not say another word until the customer does. Now, everybody's different. You can kind of get a vibe when they get into your car. Okay? But most people don't want to talk. They just want silence and their cell phone or their work, or they're busy in their own thoughts, or to talk amongst each other. So they don't want to interact with you, and that's fine. They're paying for the ride. They can do whatever they want to. And trust, they will let you know if they want to talk to you. There are chatty people who want to socialize, especially from the South. I learned that culturally in the southern states, chit-chatting with your taxi cab driver is like basically going like this to church on Sunday. Everybody does it. It's considered bad taste if you don't. So there are people who get in your car and ask you inappropriate personal questions. They just will. They'll ask you all kinds of private information, right? They have no filter. It's almost like you're a priest or a therapist at some points. Like I had a girl talk to me about how her husband was arrested for cocaine possession because he like went to Colombia and like got addicted to cocaine. Like, I don't know why you would just tell me that as a random stranger, especially when I'm recording you. But yeah, so they'll let you know. But don't force a conversation, because if you're trying to be overly nice or overly chatty, it's going to piss people off who don't want to talk to you. I mean, once they open the door and the floodgates are open, yeah, talk as much as you want to. They're trying to talk to you. But sometimes people just want to get in the car. They want to take a deep breath and relax. They have a busy day and shit. They just want silence, and they're going to get home and deal with their busy life. And you'll get tipped for just not talking. The second thing is, if you're playing music, or you have like talk radio on or something like that, and they get a phone call, turn off the radio. Okay? And then don't butt into their conversation on the phone. But if they're trying to talk on the phone, that's something they can do, man. They're paying for a ride. And so if they want to talk on their cell phone instead of talking to you, let them talk on their cell phone and turn off the volume. Or you can adjust the balance in your car so only the front speakers play music and the back speakers don't. So you can do that too. You can adjust your speakers so you can listen to some music up in front while they're got silence in the back. Okay? And that's super duper important. Last week I mentioned this too, and some people were like, that's not how it works. That's not how it works in my market. Okay, man, look, it's your business. You can run it however you want to. I'm just telling you, as a new driver, new drivers try to be overly friendly and over talk. I did it when I was new. I wanted everyone to like me and everyone to think I was the best Uber driver ever. So that's what I'm saying. If you're a new driver, just don't say anything until they say something to you. That's fine. that works fine. Then when they drop you off, just make sure you say, have a nice day. Sometimes that's going to be 50% to 75% of your rides. Hi, I'm Aaron. You're Jane. Are you going to this place? How are you today? Thank you. Have a good day. And that's it. And that's all you're going to do over and over again. And that's fine. You know, bar times, obviously more people are chatty because they got alcohol in them. But, you know, you get there. So here's some hard customer service situations to deal with. So how you deal with these situations obviously is going to change over time as you run your business, but it's always awkward when somebody does something and you're not used to it, okay? So the first is additional rider pickups. Like, people get really, really angry when they pick somebody up and the passenger's like, hey, we're going to go pick up my friend Carol first. Is that okay? And like, I've had people kick passengers out of their car. Like, no, I'm not going to do it. And they kick them out. Or they're like, ugh, fine. It's just dumb. Whatever. As long as it's not Lyft line or Uber pool, just go get their friend. You get paid per mile. So if you're adding 5 miles on to the trip, who cares? Like, what's the difference between you pick up additional rider, drive an extra couple of miles, or you just get a second ride and go in a couple additional miles? I never understood that logic. I know that, you don't get paid very much per minute, but if you're driving 2 or 3 miles out of your way, that's just like, what's the difference if they went to get their friend Jane, who's 3 miles away, or if they went 3 miles further at their final destination? It doesn't make any difference. So I never understood that logic. So what I do in these situations is I say, yes, we can. I just need you to update the address in the Uber app. And this can do 2 things for you. One, it can provide authority saying that you know what to do in the situation, like it's happened before. And 2, it gives you a chance to show the customer how to use their app, which in turn will get you tipped. I would say that the more times I talk about how to use the app with a customer who's curious, the more I get tipped, because they think that you're knowledgeable and they're thankful for you to help them. And not everyone is technologically savvy. So the way it works is on your phone, you have a picture. Click on the picture, scroll the picture up, and there's a myriad of options. And one is change destination, or just change it sometimes. Click change, and they can put the address in there. They can do that as many times as they want to, up to 4 hours. So if you do that, you get the new directions to your GPS. You pick up the friend and then have them re-put their address in. And that covers you in 2 ways. One is it verifies to Uber that you're changing your destination. And so it's a purposeful desire from the customer. So it doesn't look like you're cheating anybody. Okay? So if the customer tells you to go pick up their friend Jane and then tells Uber to recalculate the cost because it looks like you got lost or something, you have that record in there of the customer changing. And the second thing it does is it puts the customer at ease that you're taking care of them. So they have confidence in you and they know that you are going to be able to do what you're going to do. Okay? Sorry guys, like I'm a little sick, man. My throat's getting real scratchy. Sorry about that. Okay. That also goes for additional stops. So this happens a lot at bar time. At bar time, you'll pick up 4 people, and all 4 people are going to a different destination. That's fine. Just make sure they put the address into the app, so that way you have a record of it, and they can't come back at you. In fact, I had one drunk person get in the car one time. They changed their address like 6 or 7 times in the app because they couldn't remember what their address was. So I was ping-ponging all over the stupid city trying to drop this person off at their house. And every time they put a new address in, I'd go to a new destination. Well, the next day they called Uber about it and was like, hey, I got ripped off. This guy went the wrong way, blah, 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 blah. But I was like, look at the record. He put these addresses in. And so Uber didn't take away my money, and they told the guy he had to pay it. So that's covering you. Okay. The next thing I want to talk about is store drop-offs. So if you're going to a supermarket, if you're going to a gas station, leave your customer there. Customer service ends. Like, I'm just being real. You don't get paid per mile. I mean, you don't get paid per minute very much. You get paid per mile. So if they want you to wait while they go into a grocery store, they can get a ride on the way home. Don't wait for them. That's why that's why my rating is 4.93 and not 4.98. Because I'll take the 1 star and pick somebody else up. Don't waste your time. Now, what you can do is ask for something. So if I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, I go, yeah, I can wait for you. My favorite drink is orange Gatorade, or, grab me a bag of chips or something. And this goes, that way at least you're getting compensated for your time. Because that's getting tipped in food is the same thing as getting tipped in cash, because you're going to have to buy food if you're out on the road and you haven't brought some with you. So, and then if they go, well, I don't really want to get anything for you or whatever, or no, or whatever, then just leave them. Because at that point, it's not worth your time and money. Now, I will say, gas stations are different. If someone wants to run in and get cigarettes, I'll sit there for the guy who wants to go get cigarettes. I'll also ask for a Gatorade or something like that. But I do find if someone needs a pack of smokes, and so they're an addict, right? They're jonesing, they got to get their cigarette fix. They'll reward you for that because they're addicted to nicotine. So I do stop at gas stations. Generally, it's like, I mean, that really is really quick. They don't want to shop or go to the bathroom or whatever. They want to get their cigarettes and get out so they can smoke. And so they usually don't waste your time. And I find that cigarette buyers do end up tipping. Whereas the person using Uber to go to the grocery store, they're not going to tip you. They're cheap. They're not going to tip you. And the third scenario along the same lines is late night food runs. So drivers hate this. Veteran drivers will just tell you not to do it. Just don't take them to McDonald's or whatever. And take the 1-star. Take the 1-star and don't take them through McDonald's drive-thru. And I generally agree with that. Again, if someone wants to go to McDonald's, I tell them I want a number 2 with no pickles and a Coke. If they agree to that, then I'll take them. And if they won't agree to that, I'll just take them to their house then. I mean, a number 2, that's after taxes, that's like $9. So that's like getting a $9 tip. And so I'll wait through the line for $9. Another thing I'll change on is if it's surging. I mean, if it's like a 3 or 4 surge, that's $1 a minute in my market, and yours is different. So look at if you're only making 10 cents a minute, then you needed to be at 9 times, 900% prime time or a 9 surge to make $1 a minute. So yeah, just don't do it. But in Seattle, it's 25 cents a minute anyway. So a 3 surge, a 4 surge at 75 cents to $1 a minute. I'll wait through that because I'm getting compensated. So 15 minutes in line is $15 in wait time, which, I mean, to me, like, that's fine. I'll do it. But people want to go through the drive-thru. So if you're worried about your rating, and you shouldn't be, as a new driver, I understand that can be hard. I mean, you could take them through the drive-thru and just ask for food. Most people do it. Most people are more than happy to throw you a Coke or a couple tacos or a cheeseburger or something like that. Actually, 2 weeks ago on my live stream, I had someone order me a premium, like, it was like a $15 sandwich at this like fancy drive-up late night place. So it was awesome. But anyway, I digress. And the last scenario I want to talk about before we go out here is what Chris brought up, is women. So if you're a guy, no woman is afraid of you when they get into your car. It happened historically a lot in taxi cabs where drunk girls just got raped by their taxi cab driver. I mean, it's so common that it's more feared by women than walking in a dark garage late at night. And we all see that on TV about how scary that is. And now that Uber is lowering their standards for who can drive, and they're taking people with criminal backgrounds now, you'll notice that the news is sexual assaults and rapes from Uber drivers has skyrocketed. Excuse me. And you can watch my video on Uber versus Lyft where I actually post those articles and talk about it in depth. But just know, if you're a male and you're picking up a woman by herself, your job now is to make that female feel as comfortable as possible, okay? You need to make her feel safe. This doubles down for bartenders, food servers, and dancers, or strippers. They prefer to be called dancers. So that's your first customer service tip. Don't call a stripper, call her a dancer. That is what people in that industry refer to them as, and it's considered a safe word. So the moment you say dancer, you automatically make her feel a little bit safer than if you call her like a stripper or something like that, right? But your job is to make her feel safe, okay? So don't hit on them, right? Even if you really like them. If they flirt with you, okay, I got you. Again, if they open the door you can walk through it. Just don't be creepy. If they flirt with you, you want to flirt back, that's fine. But most women aren't going to get in your car and flirt with you. They're going to get in your car nervously, especially if they're by themselves. So what I try to do is mention my kids or wife as soon as I can in the conversation. I feel like once they realize you have kids and that you have a wife and you're talking about it openly, you're less likely to hit on them. You're less likely to expect something from them, right? But if you're young and you're single, it's hard to make a woman feel safe. In fact, like 90% of like closing the deal, hooking up with your high school girlfriend or girlfriend in college or whatever, like half the battle is making the girl feel comfortable enough to get intimate with you. So I don't want to get into like specific details of how to make women feel safe, because like everyone does it differently. You got to understand, like I am a middle-aged, balding, like overweight, creepy looking guy. Like I understand that when girls get in my car, they think I'm a creep. Like it's not how it always used to be. I used to be young and thin and strong, and women would be attracted to me, and they would feel uncomfortable for other reasons, like they were intimidated by me, right? But that's changed. So I'm no longer at that point in my life. Now I'm like the old creepy dude in the middle of the night taking home a 20-year-old girl, right? So I would try to treat them like I would treat my daughter in a time of crisis. Okay? And I know that sounds weird, but you have to step into the female shoes. You have to live life like it's like to be a female, especially a hot one. Hot females hate going outside because every man they come across hits on them. And by the way, if there's a beautiful girl that you want to hit on them, go for it. Like my wife is way hotter than I am, and if I had never approached her and asked her out several times, she never would have said yes. But that constant badgering is what makes females feel unsafe when they get in your car. So they're going to expect you, especially if they're hot, to mention like their clothes or their hair or their cologne or how pretty their smile is or some shit like that. Just don't do it. It's not going to make them feel safe. And if you make a female safe, they will reward you for it. They will pay you cash for that service, and they'll ask you to take you again. The best money I ever did was in Portland when I was late night. I was like basically a couple dancers wanted me to drive them specifically from their strip club to home, and every night I'd go there, and they always tipped me a lot in cash because I was on time, I was professional, and I made them feel safe. That's a service that women are willing to pay, especially because guys are creepy. I don't know if you just heard this latest thing that came out, but up here in Seattle, some guy was talking to a 16-year-old girl about her virginity and how it gave him a hard-on. And the girl just went home and told her parents, and they sued the guy in Uber. That's what's going on right now. So I don't know why you think that's a good idea, but it's not. Don't talk about your hard-on with your customers, okay? Safety first. Make them feel safe. It gives them confidence, and they'll pay you more money at the end. Women love nothing more than a man who knows how to treat them with an respectful manner when it comes to professionalism. I know there are ladies out there who like to be treated, certain ways in the courting process. So if you're at the club and you talk about how good a girl looks or how big her tits are or whatever, there are girls who gravitate to that, and they like that in their type of courtship. But when they get in your car, they're not trying to get courted. They're just trying to be there for business. But anyway, so the last thing I'll say is to answer Chris's question directly. What if there is a girl that you would like to start a relationship with? Because I do not begrudge anybody who dates people at their work. If you want to hook up with them, that's fine. Callie Uber says sex and politics are not topics for business place. Yes, but no. Generally, I agree with that. Again, if they open the door, here in Seattle, everything is politics. I mean, the Pacific Northwest, people want to talk about politics more than they want to talk about their own kids. So yeah, if someone wants to open a can up about politics, talk about it, but I wouldn't bring the subject up. But anyway, so there's a girl, she's hot, and you want to talk to her. There are two ways you can go about it in a professional manner that essentially puts the ball in their court. And the first is to get business cards with your cell phone number on it. And don't give them out to customers. If you're a new driver, please don't give your real phone number out. You don't want customers calling you all the time. No. Uber gives a fake phone number to customers so that way you're always protected. Don't ever give your real phone number out. But if there's a couple ladies that you're curious that might want to call you, at the end of the ride, get your card out and say, hey, if you ever need an Uber, consider calling me first, and I'll make sure to pick you up right away. So it sounds like you're being professional and you're offering an additional service because they're such a great customer. And then let her contact you. If she doesn't want to contact you, she won't. But trust me, if she thinks you're cute and she wants to date you, she's going to send you a text message. You know, it's going to happen. The other way you can do it is through social media. Now, I actually literally do this only for specific social media purposes. Like, I don't actually want to hit on women, but I give good customers, both male and female, Instagram, and my YouTube, right? Because I'm trying to promote my stuff. But if you're a young dude and you can get a girl to either take a picture of you and then post it on her Instagram, or at the end say, hey, I like to take pictures of my cool customers and put them on my Instagram, then, or Facebook or whatever it is, then they can contact you that way. But both ways puts the ball in the female's court, and you are maintaining yourself as a professional. Now, if you go to my Instagram, which is your personal driver, one word, you'll see various different customers are on my Instagram. So it's not like you're going to be weird. Like, they're going to go to my Instagram and be like, oh, okay, he posts pictures of everybody. So those are my two tips for you. And that's everything I have. We're about 45 minutes was where I like to keep these things if I can. I'll leave it up to you guys. If you have any questions, now's the perfect time to ask. If not, don't forget to subscribe down there and hit the thumbs up and like button and leave a comment if you think that you have a tip that I missed about what you could do. And if there are no questions, I'll go. So I'll take a drink of water here and wait a minute or two. And if you guys want to ask a question, you can. If not, I'll go. All right then. So hopefully I'll see you guys Friday at 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for my in-car live stream. And I hope to see you guys Monday. If I ever get this scratchy throat thing gone, I'll edit another video. The reason I didn't post a video on Monday is I've been sick, and I don't want to be scratchy on like the pre-recorded, pre-edited videos that I put on my stream. Because these live streams get about 200 views in a lifetime, but my actual videos will get several thousand, and if I sound like an idiot, no one will take me serious. I'm going to wait for the scratchiness to be gone before I finish recording that video. So hopefully next Monday it'll be out. Hopefully I'm not sick by next Monday. That would be crappy. All right, guys, well, I'm going to end the stream. So all of you have a good time. I hope this helped out, and I'll see you next Wednesday, and all you new drivers. Just as a reminder, if you haven't received your bonus for signing up, you have 14 days to do so. You can contact me offline, and I'll hook you up. So 2 more people I got signed up this week who are new, and I got them their bonuses. So that's good. All right, guys.